Hello everyone, thanks for joining this learning experience. Welcome to phase 1 of the Lean Management for Leaders. Eliminate office and process waste. In this phase, we are defining the complexity tax. What is that? That's the hidden, silent drain on your team's execution speed. Before we dive into this framework, let me share why I am so passionate about driving out operational complexity. My journey began over 30 years ago within the Bosch Group and the Bosch Rexroth Group. I spent decades in the trenches of supply chain management, factory logistics, and regional leadership across Europe and Asia Pacific. I managed regional operations for Bosch Rexroth and served as a director of supply chain consulting right here in ASEAN. Why does this matter to you? Because everything I teach in this course isn't theoretical consultant speak. It is office-tested, practical reality forged from decades of balancing high-volume operational excellence with real human behavior. Let's use this industrial foundation to simplify your modern office workflows. Welcome to lecture 1.1, which is called Mindset Shift. If you are a manager today, your biggest enemy isn't your competitor down the street. It's the invisible tax eating away at your team speed every single day. And you know how it's called? Complexity. We often think lean management belongs strictly on the factory floor. But when I stepped into corporate boardrooms and office environment, I noticed a striking pattern. The same waste we find on a production line is running rampant in our offices. It's just better disguised and not so easy to identify because it's endless reply all email chains, daily alignment syncs where nothing is decided, and multi-layered approval loops. We aren't here to do more work, we are here to eliminate the non-value adding corporate drag so your team can actually execute and do their job. Let's get started. To understand complexity, we must look at where waste lives. Lean process management started in automotive manufacturing, where physical waste is highly obvious. If a pile of excess steel is sitting on a factory floor, well, it physically blocks the walkway, and you trip over it if you're not careful. But in a corporate office, waste is digital and behavioral, making it completely invisible to the untrained eye. Stacks of raw materials become stacks of unapproved invoices stalling in an inbox. Forklifts moving material unnecessarily become manual data copy pasting across 5 disconnected spreadsheets. Let's look at what triggers this invisible drag. Welcome to lecture 1.2. Why does an office become complex? Well, it rarely happens on purpose. It creeps in through 3 systematic behavioral gaps. First, structured creep. At one time a mistake happens, we build a permanent approval gate to ensure it never happens again. It creates a maze over time. Second, alignment mania. The belief that everyone must agree before anyone moves, turning minor decisions into weeks of committee meetings. And third, just in case culture, flooding inboxes with CC emails not for action but purely as a defensive paper trail. Think about your own team. Which of the 3 is stealing your collective focus right now? Now we move from the concept to your operational reality. I don't want you to just sit back and watch this course like a movie. We are here to change behavior. In your module folder, you will find a resource called the 2-minute complexity scorecard. Open that file right now. The scorecard breaks down the 5 primary friction pillars that quietly bleed execution speed from your department every single day. Meeting drag, approval avalanches, digital friction, communication bloat, and over-processing. Your task is to look at your current team operations and give yourself an honest score from 1 to 5 for each of these pillars. A 1 means you're perfectly lean, agile, and fast. A 5 means your team is completely bogged down in administrative mud. Don't overthink it. Go with your gut operational instinct. That's far enough for this judgment. Let's find out exactly where your invisible organization tax is hiding. All right, it's time to do the work. Look at the screen. Your instructions are simple. Open the PDF scorecard from your resources. Rate your team across those 5 friction pillars. Tally up your final score out of maximum of 25 points. Go ahead and pause this video right now. Do not skip this step. If you want a simplified, high-speed organization, you have to start with an honest baseline. Hit pause now, do the tally, and hit play when you have your total number. I will be right here, waiting to break down exactly what your score means for your leadership. Welcome back. I hope you have your total number written down. Let's look at the screen and talk about what that score actually tells us about your organization's health. If your score is between 5 and 12, congratulations. You're currently operating in the lean and agile zone. Your team has clear lines of sight, you aren't drowning in bureaucracy, and decisions are being made fast. Your goal in this masterclass is optimization and protection, learning how to keep complexity from creeping back in as you grow. If your score is between 13 and 19, you are in the administrative drag zone, which is where most of mid to senior management teams in Southeast Asian corporate hubs sit. You aren't completely frozen, but you are absolutely paying a daily tax. You feel it in those alignment sinks where nothing gets decided, or in those 20-slide PowerPoint decks created just to justify a minor operational choice. Your speed is being throttled by just-in-case administrative habits. If your score is 20 or higher, you are officially in the complexity red zone. Your highly qualified, highly compensated specialists are likely operating as glorified clerical data processors instead of strategists. Your execution is hitting bottlenecks at every turn, and your top talent is burning out from frustration, not from actual work. No matter where your number landed today, do not panic. This number is not a failure. It is your honest, unvarnished baseline. Now that we've exposed exactly where the friction lives, we can surgically remove it. Keep that scorecard handy on your desk. Let's move into the next section and look at the actual anatomy of office ways so we can start driving that number down.